There has been a shooting in the library. Stay where you are.
Terrifying moments frozen in time. An alumnus with a gun on the loose in the FSU library.
We heard 2 shots.
Hundreds of potential victims not knowing if they would live or die.
I was scared for my life.
We're searching for answers as a community rallies to make sense of it all.
Today, we are all FSU.
Well, at this hour, the gunman is dead and 2 people are in the hospital, one of them in critical condition.
We're taking action for you tonight with complete team coverage of this tragedy, from how students are doing on campus tonight to how their family in the Bay Area are dealing with this news.
But we begin with our Carson Chambers. She's live tonight in Tallahassee, where she just spoke with investigators about this case. Carson?
And they are just releasing key pieces of information that talk about why may have done this, why he might have carried out this shooting. Also, we're getting new information about the timeline, how the shooting actually unfolded. Now, lead investigators say that May actually parked his car a few blocks away from the library and walked over there. He was carrying a .380 semi-automatic handgun. His pockets were filled with ammunition. Now, police say May started shooting outside of the library, hitting 2 FSU students. Then he entered the lobby, where they say he shot an FSU staff member.
Sarah Evans was around the corner from one shooting near the library's first floor entrance. She captured video of Nathan Scott shot in the leg and heard him scream.
There's a gun in the library and I've been shot. And at this point is when the library heard this and just went crazy.
And then as he exited the lobby of that library, 6 police officers engaged him. 5 FSU police officers, 1 Tallahassee police officer. They say he would not drop his weapon, and that is when they shot and killed him. 30 rounds fired. That includes the suspect and police. We also know that they have seized a journal and cell phone videos where May talks about being, quote, targeted.
We've just gotten the documents and things. He referred to government targeting. It was very general in nature. Like I said, we've just conducted a preliminary review of the documents and videos, and it's going to take more time to go through them in detail to really to fill out all those kind of question marks right now.
Detailed here in this report happened just last month in Las Cruces, New Mexico. The report lays out May's alleged bizarre behavior October 7th. Police say they were called to a woman's house. A woman claiming to be May's ex of 15 months. She told police that May had just showed up unannounced at her home. He'd recently developed a severe mental disorder, was diagnosed with ADHD, and had been using prescription meds.
Hundreds of students are gathered out here right now. You can see they're all getting ready for this vigil about to start. I've seen students hugging one another, comforting one another, and all the students I spoke with earlier are still in disbelief that this even happened.
I was scared for my life, and I was scared that it ends like here in my freshman year of college.
This is video Daniel Morales took on his cell phone of students sequestered. Other shaky video shows students huddled together listening to police.
If anybody has a victim, if anybody has been shot, call 911 on your cell phone.
Social media gives us our first glimpses into those terrifying moments.
If you look, this is what we use on the Now Tampa Bay. It's called our tweet map, where we can look and see what's trending in our area. So if you look here, you can see all of these hashtags and all of these phrases. You can see these are where people have tweeted pictures of the things that they've used to barricade the doors closed.
The heart-stopping minutes during that shooting playing out across the state today. People with loved ones on campus just waiting and hoping to hear the best. Our Chris Trankman spoke with 2 Bay Area families who have kids at Florida State. And Chris, this had to be a nerve-wracking situation for them.
Absolutely, Jameson. On a weeknight where 300 students were gathered to study in a place where it's normally quiet and safe, for the 2 parents I talked to, making contact with their kids today couldn't have come fast enough.
Man, my knees got so weak, I thought, this is not happening, you know? It just sickened me.
Irene Taylor's son is a senior at Florida State studying business. She frantically tried getting a hold of the 22-year-old after the shootings.
I'm blowing his phone up. I'm sending texts. Where are you?
Chaos on campus.
There has been a shooting in the library.
A gunman injures 3 people at Florida State.
People left their MacBooks, their backpacks, their phones, threw everything and just started running to the back of the library.
Right now at 6, how students are coping and what we're learning about the man who pulled the trigger.
Students huddled in fear, using overturned tables as a makeshift barricade to block a second-floor door in the library. Another student, Jason Durfus, credited
A backpack filled with books for blocking one of the gunman's bullets and saving his life. He says he was just feet away from the shooter, and only later did he realize how close he came to getting shot.
2 of the books that I had checked out had a bullet hole in them. I know God's looking out for me, and there's really no other explanation for it.
Our Jacqueline Inglés gaining exclusive access tonight into the cottage he was living in right before he went to Florida State. Our Jacqueline joins us now with what she found.
Friends say he was having financial trouble, and up until the shooting, May lived in this guest house here at the Hitchka home of nationally renowned charity worker David Totten and his wife Abigail. He moved here just 3 weeks ago. Inside, there were still boxes, the bedroom in disarray, and a pill bottle half full of hydroxyzine, a drug commonly used to treat anxiety and nervousness.
Surprise deliveries. We're uncovering new details tonight about mysterious packages sent out by a gunman before opening fire on students at FSU.
Tonight, students standing united as the shooter's uncle speaks exclusively to ABC Action News.
He wasn't a monster.
Only ABC Action News is taking you inside the shooter's home, revealing new clues that could help explain what would drive him to want to kill. We're getting new exclusive developments just into the newsroom from our team of reporters in Tallahassee tonight. Let's get right to it. Right now, police alerting friends of Myron May that he sent out 8 packages through the mail before shooting 3 people at the FSU campus library early this morning. Investigators are still unclear about what's inside those packages and are asking those 8 people to call them as soon as they're delivered.
And just minutes ago, police releasing this picture of one of the victims. Grad student Nathan Scott works at the library and was wounded in the leg when that shooting started. Police telling us he's one of 2 students shot at the Strozier Library who remain in the hospital at this hour. The 3rd victim was grazed in the leg and immediately released on scene. And we have live team coverage tonight. Our Jacqueline Inglés just speaking exclusively with Myron May's uncle a short time ago about his state of mind days before the shooting.
Almost 24 hours ago, just beyond this crime scene tape, here on the steps of this library, Myron May took his last breaths, and tonight his uncle is opening up about the Thanksgiving plans they had. But instead of coming together for dinner next week, May's family will be coming together for a very different reason: his funeral.
He was going to get together with me and cook Thanksgiving dinner.
Preparing Thanksgiving dinner with his nephew Myron Mays is a memory Wallace Freeman won't be making. Instead, he's planning the 31-year-old's burial.
His mother's birthday was yesterday, so I know it's a heartbreaker to her.
Freeman last saw his nephew on Saturday. He spent the night before returning to this guest house family friends were letting him live in 6 miles away in Weehawken. He would leave the very next day to visit friends at FSU.
It's a shock because he was quiet.
May moved back to the Florida Panhandle just 3 weeks ago after living in Houston and New Mexico, where trouble found the lawyer just last month.
He saw a guy with a gun at his apartment.
Then there was this, a police report filed with the Las Cruces Police Department by his ex-girlfriend, claiming May was harassing her and recently developed a severe mental disorder, believing police were bugging his home and even putting cameras in his car. When ABC Action News gained exclusive access to May's cottage, we found this, a half-full bottle of hydroxyzine, a drug commonly used to treat anxiety and nervousness.
He wasn't a monster. He was nice, sweet young man.
His friends told us he was also having financial issues. Here he is on a camping trip earlier this month studying for the Florida bar. Now tonight, while his family is thankful May did not kill anyone, they're struggling to answer why he opened fire and wounded 3 innocent people at his alma mater.
We don't know what went down, but we're in shock because he was no kind of person like that.
May's mother is back in Ohio tonight, where he spent the majority of his childhood. He moved here to Florida at the age of 12 and was raised by his grandmother. This will be the 7th family funeral for May's family this year.
Students found comfort in a small auditorium just steps away from where we are outside the FSU library tonight. It was a vigil where they prayed for understanding.
I just pray that you would just overwhelm those just struggling right now with peace, God.
If there is such a thing as the sound of healing, it might have been the low hum of voices in an FSU auditorium. Or maybe healing doesn't make a sound at all. prayer, quiet or spoken.
And I just want to thank you for all the lives that were spared.